Charles County now. I am Natasha Anthony. If you live in an area of the Charles County that is serviced by water and sewer, you probably have questions. How are fees determined? How's my bill calculated? What are the fees I pay for? Well, today we're going to answer many of those questions. Joining me is Bill DeAtley, Chief of Accounting, to help answer some of the billing questions, and later we will have Wilson Cochran, who will join us to talk about what they do to support water and sewer billing. So, Bill, welcome, and thank you so much for joining Charles County Now.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, you're welcome. So, Bill, we were talking before the show, and you were telling me that you were with the county, for a while. Tell me about your experience here and what you do as Chief of Accounting.
Sure. So, like I said, I've been here going on 30 years now. I've been the chief for the last 18 years. The funny thing is I was the last hire of the original accounting division when it was created.
Wow.
And so here I still am. Everything sort of from day to day is sort of a different day. You never know what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
And my division, I oversee accounts payable, accounts receivable, payroll, which is important to the employees.
Definitely.
And I do a general audit every year, and I also oversee the water and sewer billing office.
And that brings me to my next question, Bill. So thank you so much for your answer. Now,
Sure.
As Chief of Accounting, you oversee the water and sewer billing. How does that work? Just explain to us.
Right. So I have a staff of 10 people. There's a billing manager, an assistant manager, and there are 8 utility specialists. They do most of the day-to-day stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I stay out of it. They answer phone calls. They generate adjustments. They do refunds. And they get the billings out to the customers. And so they get that information from the meter reading division, which is on the public facility side.
Okay.
And transfer that information to our software to get the billings done out. We have over 35,000 accounts, so they're very busy, and they deal with a lot of information, every day.
Oh my gosh, 35,000 accounts. Now, tell us how services are monitored and how that works into, calculating a customer's bill.
Right. So each property is going to have a meter. Some of them vary in size. The meter techs will go out and drive in their trucks, and they will read those meters. Sometimes it's a manual read, but most of the time it's an electronic reading, and transfer that information to us. And so it's compared to your prior quarter for the consumption that's gone through the meter, and that's what we calculate your bill on.
Oh, okay. So do you ever have, you say sometimes it's manual. How often do you have to manually go do this?
It could be just interference with the technology that you can't get a reading, so you go out and you'll, open up the meter crock, and they'll get the reading off of it. Some of them, they can't do that because they're in the home. And so if there's ever a problem, then they have to schedule an appointment to work with the homeowner to get inside and maybe look at that meter.
And I guess that's a rare occasion for you. Okay. Now, Bill, what are some common things you see that, could cause a higher than anticipated bill?
So depending on the time of year, like spring and summer, people want a green lawn. So if you're watering your lawn a lot, that's going to make your water bill go up. If you're filling up a swimming pool, hot tub, you name it. Those are kind of recurring seasonal type things. The things that happen just randomly would be, a leaking water tank, or a leaking faucet, outdoor spigots. If you have a dry period and you notice there's a bunch of water in your yard, I would check the house to make sure that something's not leaking underneath. If you have a crawl space coming, underneath and such. But the most common is a running toilet, and it's a silent one. Most of the time you don't hear it, you don't notice it, but it runs every day, and it gets a lot of use. And so that is going to be the primary culprit when we typically see a high reading on an account. We try to notify the customers on the bill that you may have a leak detected. Please check your residence for it. And so that's pretty much the primary culprit is a running toilet.
So therefore, it would be summertime, spring, summer, you'll see high water reading. Then outside of that, it's just if you have a leaking faucet or a leaking toilet.
Most commonly, yeah.
Okay.
You'd have burst pipes, significant things that would happen that you would call your home warranty first versus calling the county for help.
Got you. Okay, so if someone suspects that their bill is too high, it's not summer, the toilet is okay, what can they do?
They should contact the billing office as soon as they possibly can, preferably not on the due date, and then work with customer service reps to talk about, the reasons why it may be high. Often, they could suggest a rereading just to make sure that the reading was accurate.
Okay.
And so, just think about checking the toilet, because like I said, it's silent, you don't know it's running, and there's ways to do that, and it's very inexpensive to figure out how, or which one is actually causing the high bill.
Got you. Okay. Thank you so much, Bill. Bill, thank you once again for joining us. This is Bill DeAtley. He's the Chief of Accounting here. We're going to take a short break. When we return, we'll hear about the operational side of water and sewer billing and how fees and rates are determined. We'll be right back.
For your present and our future. Don't litter. Do your part and keep Charles County beautiful.
Welcome back. This is Charles County Now, and I'm Natasha Anthony. There is more to your water bill than just your water bill. Joining me now is Wilson Cochran, the Deputy Director, Utilities with the Department of Public Works. Welcome, Wilson.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's start off with you just telling us about you and what you do.
I am the Deputy Director of Public Works Utilities for Charles County, and my job basically is to ensure that the incredible employees of utilities have what they do and have what they need to make sure that the customers get clean water and that the wastewater gets treated and put back into the environment safely.
Got you. Well, thank you so much. So in the previous segment, we heard that Public Works handles much of the operational side of water and sewer billing. So tell us what that means and what's involved in the entire operations involving you.
For us, we have a meters group, and we go out quarterly and read all the meters for all 35,000 accounts, and then we give those readings to the billing department. They tell us any meters we missed. We go out and we do checks and get the meters that weren't got when they did the drive around. We do rereads, so if somebody has a question about their bill and they think it was too high, and maybe we're the ones that go out and recheck that meter. Okay. We're also, unfortunately, the ones who do the water shutoffs and turn-ons. And if somebody has an issue with their bill and they think they have a leak, please call us first, because we'll come out and check your meter. And what we do is we turn all the water off in the house, have you turn all the water off in the house, and then we check your meter to see if it's spinning. If it's spinning, then there's probably a leak somewhere in your house. And if it's not, then you probably don't have a leak. But it saves you calling a plumber out to come and check your house and spending that money before you know there's a leak.
Definitely. So how does Public Works coordinate with fiscal services for billing?
The same way. We do all the readings, we give it to them. They don't let us handle any money.
Okay.
I get probably two or three calls at least a month where people wanting to have a question about their water bill. I have the number for billing posted at my desk, so I can give them the right number to call. They don't let us touch any of the money. All we do is make sure you get the water at your house, and we take the water away when it's done.
Okay, so I know you say you do not touch the money, but how are fees determined?
Fees are determined by our operating costs. The operating costs are everything from especially the chemicals, the electricity, and all the plants we have that run. So we take all that and the CIP projects, which are the betterment projects that we do. We're doing a lot of things at the Mattawoman wastewater treatment plant right now to make it perform better. We have 6 other treatment plants that we run. We have about 120 sites between pumping stations, towers, well sites that we have to take care of. And all that kind of gets lumped into a overall number. They divide it by the number of accounts we have, and that's pretty much where we get your water bill.
Gotcha. And that's how the fees are determined. So what influences the determination of these fees?
Lately, it's been a lot with the chemicals and the electricity of Roy kind of going. We've seen that go through the roof lately.
Okay.
Parts and supplies, pumps, the lead times have gone up, and of course they have, all the prices for those have gone up. So we've seen a significant rise in everything we have to get to do what we do.
So Wilson, thank you so much. And that kind of brings me to the next point about, fee increases. Can you just elaborate a little bit more on fee increases?
Yeah, the fee increases pay for our operating costs that have gone up especially since COVID. We've seen a large rise in chemical costs, electricity costs have gone up, the cost of any kind of supplies, safety supplies, especially gloves and masks and things like that that we need to do. When,
so operationally.
Yeah, when everybody needed those, the prices went through the roof and they really haven't come back down. The price for pumps and equipment and switches and everything that goes with that, it just all has gone up, and we unfortunately have to pass that cost on. Okay,
so we are about to end at the end of our interview. Is there anything you want to touch on that I didn't talk about, Wilson?
The only thing is that, utilities is a very multifaceted department in the fact that we do everything we have everywhere from engineers to the guys in the ditches, digging up pipes. We have lab work. We have so much that we do that people don't see to make sure they have clean water, and that most of the people in my department are environmentalists. We want to make sure that we're delivering the cleanest, best water back to the environment that we can. So.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you so much for being part of Charles County Now. It was a joy talking with you, and that's all we have for this episode. Thanks for watching. I'm Natasha Anthony.